Hey guys, it's me Ole, and in this video I'll review the LG G6. You might say it's just another Android slab and it's not a BlackBerry. Yes, it's not a BlackBerry, but I have to test other phones in order to judge on BlackBerries, because you have to keep the competition in the channel. I think it's very interesting to test other phones as well. But before we begin this video, I really want to thank cloth.co.uk because they again provided the LG G6 for me to test it and to share it with you guys. So if you're interested in the LG G6 or any other smartphone like BlackBerry Key One or the Passport and so on, just go ahead, go on their website on cloth.co.uk, check out their offers, they have great deals, and yeah, so if you're interested, buy from them, they're great. So this is the LG G6. It has a big screen, a beautiful body, at least in the color I have it, black. It has a good performance and a really bright and sharp display. But I guess we should get into those things more specifically. It also has a premium aluminum frame surrounding the phone, a USB-C connector on the bottom, which is sadly still on USB 2.0, a speaker next to it, which is fairly loud, although covering it is pretty easy and noticeable. The left side features the volume controls and the right side a slot for a microSD card and a nano SIM. The top has the 3.5mm headphone jack, so LG is still keeping it, and a mic for noise cancelling. The back has the fingerprint sensor, which is also the power button. The fingerprint sensor is really fast, but I'm not very satisfied with the placement of the power button as the fingerprint sensor, because it has so many issues and I don't understand why they couldn't just place a normal power button at the side of the phone. So if the phone is laying on the table, it's so difficult to unlock the phone because the fingerprint sensor is on the back as well as the power button, and also to lock the phone. And I especially noticed that problem when I had it in my phone cradle in my car, because I couldn't just unlock it with my thumb like I do it on the Key One, on the spacebar. I always had to fumble around or enter the pin, which is not very useful and good while driving. It's powered by a Snapdragon 821 processor and an Adreno 530 GPU. They're very fast processors, but they're not the fastest actually, even though it was announced around the same time as the Galaxy S8 was, and that one already has the new processors. This doesn't mean that this phone is slow though. The UI and general navigation through the phone is really fluid and never really stutters. Multitasking is also very nicely executed, but that should be obvious though, given that it has 4GB of RAM. Apps always stayed open without any issues, and switching back and forth between apps was a breeze. I guess this isn't a phone that is for heavy productivity. I think it's bought by people who are into social media and gaming. And gaming definitely isn't a problem, although I'm not really a gaming geek and I downloaded some Doodle Jump I know from iPod Touch days. Those work great though, and I'm sure the LG G6 can handle more power demanding apps like Asphalt 8 pretty easily. That screen really makes it wonderful for social media usage. It has a 5.7-inch display with a slightly odd 18:9 aspect ratio instead of the more common 16:9. That means the phone is slightly longer than usual, which makes it great to handle with one hand. And it really doesn't feel like a phone that has this big of a screen. And you might have already noticed that the screen is very similar to the one on the Galaxy S8. It's not curved though, it's just flat. And that isn't a bad thing. It's a LG QHD Plus display with a resolution of 1440 by 2880. And you really notice the 564 pixels per inch because you don't notice any pixels. It's extremely sharp and also really bright. A good thing is that it can also get really dark on its lowest setting, so you have the best of both worlds. The OS is also very nicely designed. It's the typical LG design. You have updated logos. You can now also change the launcher a bit, so if you need a app drawer or you don't need it, maybe you want all your apps on everywhere, which I definitely don't like. It also has the Google Now launcher, which is very helpful. It's a very nice voice recognition app. Because of that 18:9 aspect ratio, videos have black bars and you can't really turn that off or zoom in on YouTube videos. At least I didn't find any setting to do that. But you can change the look of specific apps to fit the screen if you want to do that in the settings. But there's something wrong with the display, and it seems like LG wasn't able or capable to produce a display with properly rounded off edges. It rather looks like a child cut the display with paper scissors. It's that bad. In everyday use you don't really notice it, but it's just something that shouldn't happen with a phone that is this expensive. A bright display often uses a lot of battery, and that's why LG has fitted a fairly big 3300 mAh battery into the phone. It's good, holds the charge for a day with heavy usage, and maybe 1.5 days with mid to low usage. 6 hours of screen on time definitely isn't a problem. And the LG G6 has a very clever dual camera system on the back. The main camera has 13 megapixels with an aperture of f1.8. It has a pretty near angle, but also a pretty good 3-axis OIS system. The second camera though has an extreme wide angle, has 30 megapixels and an aperture of f2.4 without autofocus though. Apple has a similar feature on the iPhone 7 Plus. Although the second camera isn't a wide-angle lens, it's a zoom lens. I think the system on the LG G6 is much better. You can capture great images, and you really have to test it yourself to see how wide this camera is. It's really stunning. I've never seen anything like this on any other phone. Picture quality is really good in bright light. Of course, pictures get pretty soft and grainy in low light, but that's not really as bad as you may think. If you take a lot of pictures and you want to try something new like a wide-angle lens, the G6 is for you. A great camera in my opinion. It does tend to over-sharpen images though, which can make them look kinda strange. The problem with the LG G6 is the price. It was 750 euros when it was new, and you pay that price for an outdated processor and missing features, for example here in Europe, where we don't get induction charging or other features. If you can get a good deal on the LG G6, I'd say good for it. Also, if you don't like the curved screen on the Galaxy S8 or you want a really innovative camera system, then the LG G6 is for you. It's a great phone, and every time you pick up the device you see that stunning display, and it's really amazing in my opinion. So if you like this video, make sure you like the video, leave a comment in the comment section below what you think about the LG G6. Also make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated with the newest videos. Make sure to follow me on my social media channels, Instagram and Twitter, and my BlackBerry Messenger channel pin is in the description box below. See you in my next video. Until then, bye.